Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Sandeep bhai.
I've seen your many videos in which you have told people about how to raise funds, what kind of funds are there. In that, I've seen debt, equity, and normal funds. Then you bought REIT to India, you bought Invit, you told us about CNL. Today, I want to know and I want that the audience should know about what is buyer's credit and what is seller's credit.
Oh, thank you, Sandeep bhai, giving me so much information about me. See, I forget a lot of things that I have done. Thank
That
you.
we follow you, so we remember everything.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I tell you, what is a buyer credit? First time when I was in McKinsey, that time we was doing the buyer credit for Argentina to China. That time China was emerging market, and Argentina was the main raw material supplier. So the Chinese buyers were not able to get a kind of financial facility. So what we done? We took a Chinese company a performance guarantee. Like what you are ordering to Europe and Argentina, if you don't buy, by whatever reason, then you have to pay the penalty.
Okay.
When this is started, that in 2001, 2002, when the Kargil came in India and the Bajaj Hindustan, we started given to Bhushan Steel, we given to Mahalakshmi Steel. So how it worked? Actually, the buyer credit, the reputation of the buyer, the risk analysis, and the reputation with banks act a very important role. So we issue a purchase order to the buyer, and the buyer endorse it and send back to the supplier. Because generally, in a steel, supplier take a 3 to 4 month time. In super, it take almost 5 to 6 month time because the volume is very high. So matching that and reduce the risk of the producer or supplier or manufacturer, provide the credit, and then they give the money to suppliers. And second, you get a whole money, like 90% you get or 80% you get. So you go to the market, buy the raw material on lower price because you are paying on a spot, and then it increase your profit, it reduce your risk, and it reduce the dependency on the Indian banks. And that's how the buyer credit is on.
And since you're saying like it's LIBOR plus 250 or whatever BPS according to the market, so is it cheaper than Indian market,
Oh,
Indian banks?
you cannot compare because most of the Indian banks even borrow under the supplier credit and buyer credit. So the cost of the fund is like today the cost of fund is about 6.5 to 7%. Unlike if your export is in dollars and your import is also in dollars, then your risk is zero. You don't need to take hedge also. And if you are not taking hedge, hardly cost you 4%. So the cost is cannot compare.
Yeah, in Indian market, I think housing loan is cheapest and that is also at 9.5% to 10%.
Very fast. The Indian market have to learn a lot. I don't know what RBI is thinking, but you have to understood the depositors are given money to bank to keep a deposit safe. So I don't feel you have to be make it business like I give my something to you to keep in your warehouse. So I have to pay the rent, not you have to pay the rent. But here I don't know. I feel India have to correct this pattern. If you want to be a global number first, second, third, or you want to be a 30 trillion economy, you have to learn. You have to simplize the your borrowing facility, like especially banks, NBFC. And second, you have to be a competitive capital, like a China RMB. I feel is a LIBOR one, Japan LIBOR minus, Russia LIBOR 2, Europe LIBOR 250, US LIBOR 0.50. West in India, where is the LIBOR? Yeah, here BPLR plus 4%, 3%.
Yeah, so it comes to around 12%.
Hopefully, 10% go. 2% processing charge.
Depend here.
2%
Then depends on bank to bank. If we go to some cooperative, they will charge whatever they want.
No, you name the big bank also they charge 1.5 to 2%. Big bank type value. Means Indian banking really need to be a seriously. work out. Seriously. But that's why if you go anywhere in the world, your banks even don't come in first 200. You are a 150 crore people, but your bank don't come even first 150. Nobody borrow from your bank. You name first 50 companies in the world, and your lending is zero. Are you think your lending is with Google? Are your lending is with Facebook? Are you lending with the any AI company? No, your lending is mostly in the company where poor ratings are there. Forget about the 10, 20, 15 companies of India. Most of the banks lending are in a poor rating company. And if honestly we do the rating,
Then it will further go down.
90% go further go down. Like 5, 6 days back, RBI and lenders have shown the RFA, means early alarms for the fraud. Means what is the early alarm? It's actually fraud.
Yes.
Actually fraud.
It's going to be declared as fraud. Only thing is they are not declaring, but sooner
They
or
are
later
they are not declaring to. They are saving their reputation. They are saving their officers. It is fraud. And if you say 1024 is a fraud, I personally feel more than 30,000. So that is a showing your poor banking management, poor monitoring system, and poor processing system. You have to, bank have to go to the client. Bank have to go to the good client, do the rating free of cost, do the SWOT analysis free of cost, do the TB free of cost. Then you get a good client.
but banks earn in that.
How much? You see
It's
the
basically whether they are giving loan or no, they will say ki, okay, pay this much charges for legal, they pay this for valuation.
very true. Like you in your personal life, if you ask your tailor, pay me 50 rupees for stitching your shirt, pay me 100 rupees for stitching your pant. So what he will do? Whatever cloth you will give 50%, he will keep it. See, it's a pure open market for see. The if legal is appointed, legal is paid by customer, legal company have to see the interest of the customer, not bank.
Because he knows the money is coming from client and
Right.
unless until he is happy to.
Either he won't pay, he will ask the bank to appoint some other valuer. See, I tell you, you have to protect your money. Or protecting your money, you must have your valuer, your legal. You have to go to the good promoter. You have to meet the good promoter. You have to go and give the presentation and do the proper risk analysis and then lend. That's how global work. That's how buyer credit are working. And that's how JP Morgan, Blackstone, Bank of America, Bank of China is working. You everything like it's your home, it's your money. You have to pay to protect that. You have to pay to understood who is the best borrower.
So basically, in buyer seller, credibility also works.
Oh, very. See, buyer and seller, mostly you get a credit based on the credit. What kind of your past repayment are there? What kind of the your delivery are there? What kind of the promoter's reputation are there? What kind of the protection you are doing? Whether you are using this money for repaying up your previous borrowing, either you are using this money for the working capital. All this together works.
One more thing, like you said, ki, we are not doing hedging. If it's in dollars, fine. But still, what do you suggest? Ki, shall we hedge even if the cost is going 1 or 2% more? I tell you, for the security.
Hedging is required if you don't have a income in the foreign currency. If you have a income in foreign currency, hedging don't need. And I recommend you buy, matlab, you buy from the overseas and supply to overseas, so your risk will be lower. Like
But
you buy the machines, you buy all other things, then your risk will be lower. Hedging means in dollars right now. I think hedging is 5.5% to 6%. The big amount. You can explore other option by taking a single debt insurance, by taking a transportation insurance, by taking a promoter's credit insurance, by taking a political turnout and turmoil insurance. Lot of insurance options are there. You can appoint some good consultant.
so that will cost hardly 1%, or maybe less.
It's almost 1.5%, maximum 1.5%. Instead of paying 6-7% per year, you can have a 4 year or 3 year insurance cost. You can save almost if it is 100 million US dollar, you can save 20 million US dollar in 3 years.
Yes. Is there any time limit? Generally, people says buyer and credit. This is for 6 to 7 months or maybe maximum 1 year.
If it is a dollars, if it is a foreign, it go up to 360 days, but it's a renewal. You can go up to
360 days means 1 year.
1 year. But if it is a domestic, it is 180 days. If it is in
Okay.
Indian rupees terms, it's 180 days. If it is a foreign currency, it's go 360.
But then it can be renewed and again it can like a CC limit. Like what we say ki yeah, barely submit.
If your buyer is happy, he will give the limit, you continuous. If your buyer is not happy, he will.
So they are giving you for 1 year, but again it can be extended. Can go
Till
for
he is buying, he will give the limit. If he don't buy, he don't give the limit.
so in other words, if we say this buyer and seller credit is like, is it like bill discounting on large scale?
Exactly no, Sandeep. Bill discount means this is the risk fixed to the buyer as well as supplier. And bill discounting means after the supply. The buyer credit means before the supply. So it purely work on risk side and credit side. Bill discounting actually risk is zero. You have already supplied and the buyer have accepted and in technical terms it's called good for payment. So here they are taking exposure or taking risk only for few days. If supplier don't pay, buyer have to pay. Buyer don't pay, supplier have to pay. But in buyer credit, only the risk fixed with buyer. Supplier risk is zero. Supplier risk is only when they don't supply. So the basic difference is a pre-shipment or pre-processing funding, and that is the post-processing funding.
Okay, so in bill discounting, you are saying you are already you have supplied the items, supplied the services, whatever it is. Against that, you raise the bill. Against that, you are raising money.
Right. So the in say bill discounting, the money, the amount come on the debt side. It's show in your book as a debt. But the buyer credit or supplier credit, it show as a advance. So it won't come as a uh, debt. And this you can use as a equity as well. The money have come to and you can show as a equity because you have already raw material and you have a long term agreement. So it actually push your balance sheet. It give a very good support to your company for ratings. Long term rating, short term rating, everything increase.
For getting these kind of funds in India, do we have to supply something like LC, SBLC is required for these kind of credits?
For the buyer credit.
Yes.
For buyer credit, you have a three things. Either you have to take a single debt insurance, like performance insurance. Number two, you have to take a LC as well, right? You have to take either performance guarantee, right? Either you have to take the rating risk. So all four are discountable. Even CLN you can go, credit linked note you can get issue, a rated paper you can get issue, and you can like you are supplying steel, so you have a buyer credit, and same time you are buying from somebody raw material coal and all, you can get the supplier credit. So your risk will be 5-6%, whatever margin you are keeping. That much is your risk, that much money you need. Both side you have managed that. So you need less money.
So on one side, we are getting money for raw material. On the other hand, we are getting money in advance against my final product.
Right. So you have a win-win situation. Your book is very good and you are full of money. But if one risk is there, generally once engine promoter have full of money, then they divert money from business to somewhere else.
So I was coming to that fund. Can it be used for other purposes?
Ruchi
like-
Soya best example. Ruchi Soya have done that. Vishal Mart have done that. Many companies have done that, including this Ronald Pen have done and Today Pen have done. Many companies. I know at least more than 200 companies have done and they were the heavily furnished classes. Mostly even Bunge client was, I think, after 2013, 14, Lot of client from Bunge departed. Few client from Kargil also departed, but lot of client from Bunge. But majority of the client was from Bunge.
So the advice is that we should use the fund where for what purpose we have taken.
Of course, if you are in toilet, think about only toilet. If you are in dining table, think about the dining table. If you have taken money for buyer credit, you have to see the buyer obligation must be completed. If you have taken supplier credit, you must see the supplier obligation must be completed. This all working capital, short term. You are not allowed to convert in the long term. You matlab, for allowing for using the long term, you do the money laundering. You change the account, you go and buy the cash. That is illegal. It's a fit case of PMLA. Earlier the rules were not that strong in India, but now it is a PMLA. Mostly people don't get the bail 3 4 years. So I don't advise anybody to use short term money in long term. A lot of options there for long term. Lot of options are there. Go on proper route. You are driving Lexus or Mercedes, go on proper cemented road. Why you want to go to the paddy field or somebody else? Or that place tractor is there. Uh, For that tractor is there. Why you are using a
So you are also mentoring many companies. Do they also provide these kind of services?
yeah, I feel that Venture Studio Capital is doing good. Like your company itself doing good. And the other company, Care Desk is doing good. Then for women entrepreneurs, Jabun are even doing. Uh, your one company, I think you are the associate or you are part of that trust that is one more chance is doing good. I don't know why you are hesitant. Your company is one of the.
But I mean, the people listen from your mouth is a different thing. I wanted that you should take my company's name.
Hey, your company
Thank you for that.
your company is a very premium company. I whatever place I go, like if I go to Kotak, I go to the State Bank. I heard lot about your company. Like you guys done wonder with State Bank, HDFC, and Kotak. So you enjoy very good reputation with Aramco and very good reputation with Habib, Khalid Bank. Yes, you guys are good, really doing good.
Thank you. Thank you so much
And
for insight. And thank you.